I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Tyson. I need to start saying good night, my time. Tyson Franklin, how are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Well, for me, I'm on the other side of the world. It's a beautiful morning.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, tell us, what part of Australia are you in right now?
I live in Cairns, which is far north Queensland. So it's probably the most civilized place as far north as you can go on the eastern coast of Australia.
All right. Are we supposed to laugh when you say that?
No, it's not a joke. It's just it's one of the most beautiful parts of the world. It's where the reef meets the rainforest. So this is where the Great Barrier Reef is and the Daintree, and it's just a gorgeous part of the world. And Port Douglas, so many people come up this way, come from all over the world, come to Cairns and Port Douglas for holidaying. I just happen to live in a beautiful part of the world.
Love it. Hey, I do know the feeling. I am in the Caribbean Sea, my friend. I can definitely relate with what you're speaking about. I'm in Trinidad. So it's definitely beautiful. Tell me, which of your talents, Tyson, is responsible for us connecting?
It would be my podcasting talent, which, I'm not saying it's a real talent right now, but that's how we connected via LinkedIn, because we both love podcasting. I'm assuming.
You say podcast and then immediately it's your family, right? Now tell us about your podcast, please.
My podcast is called It's No Secret with Dr. T. So it's a small business podcast, and the goal is to just break down some of those, pull those veils down where people think there's all these secrets to be successful in business, whereas really it's not. All the answers are there. You've just got to have your eyes open, and you've got to just look for them and listen to what people have to say. So I bring on different guests just to talk about different aspects of business and life, and hopefully people pull one or two secrets away from it and realize there are no secrets in business. The answer's there. You just got to find them.
Yeah. I definitely got to listen to that podcast, and there's a space you hold where you listen. You really do listen. You ask the question and then you listen. Who did you learn that skill from?
This guy, Ronsley Vaz, who was sort of responsible for sort of helping me learn podcasting on top of other things. A lot of reading I did myself. But he said the best conversations are just really listen to what the person is saying. And then when you listen to what they say and you're not thinking of your next question, he said a really good question will come up for following on from that conversation. And then it sounds like a real conversation, not something that's contrived.
Yeah. It's intriguing. So my questions, I'll tell you, are templated, but it was templated from a format of what's the next question that I can put in there that I will definitely want to know right at that point, right? And so I work backwards, right? But definitely I love it because it keeps the attention of the listener one, as well as it's pretty intriguing to you, right? It's like you could go back and listen to your podcast, right?
Well, I do. It's funny. I said that to I was doing a recording yesterday, and I said to the guest when I finished that sometimes I feel I get so much out of the actual conversation myself, and I learn so much. The idea of the podcast was to do a podcast so other people could learn, but I'm getting more out of it than as much as anybody else.
Yeah. The one thing I'll tell you is the challenge of listening to my own voice, but I've found a way to beat that. And I mean, if you do have that challenge, or if someone is listening and they do have that challenge, hey, listening to yourself at 1.5x speed or 2x speed definitely helps.
Yeah, I found, I must admit, the first time I listened to myself, I was like, oh, do I really sound like that? But then as I get into it, you just forget it's you. You're there when the conversation took place. So I think I overcame it over about 3 episodes in. Right. I overcame listening to myself, and I always listen to my own podcast all the way through before I publish it, because I just want to make sure there's no major flaws. Something hasn't got buggered up in the process.
Yeah, and that's cool. Hey, Tyson, why will you continue to repeat this skill?
I'm loving the connections that I make with people. Once you interview or you talk to someone on a podcast, just like yourself, I feel there's this connection between the two of you. You now have a relationship that you can build on, next month and next year, 5 or 10 years time. So I find the relationships you make with people through podcasting are going to be lifelong relationships. You have something in common. It's like a podcast cult.
There we go. Tell me
but a good one.
Yeah. Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Gotten out of bed early. That's probably about in 2014 I wrote my first book, and when I decided to do it, I got up at 4 a.m. every morning and wrote for about 3 hours, and that was the process that I went through.
Wow.
Since then, I've just gotten up early. I wake up usually just before 5 o'clock every single morning. Most days I get out of bed sometime between 5 and 5:15, and I just can't wait to just start the day. I'm 51 years of age, but I feel like a big kid.
Wow.
Every day is just so exciting to me.
You look great as well, right? Wow. So how does it make you feel?
Oh, thank you. Getting up early?
Yeah.
Getting up early, I feel like I'm taking charge of the day. I'm not letting the day take control of me. So when I used to lie in bed and I would sleep until 7:30, 8 o'clock, I would drag myself out, and it's like the day was controlling me. But me getting up at 5, it's like, hang on, I'm controlling today. I'm going to form my own destiny by getting up and just taking action and doing something. So I recommend everyone should get up, whatever they're getting up now, like to get up early and you haven't done it before or haven't done it for a long time. It's a little bit painful, but it's just like anything. Just a little bit of practice, you will get the hang of it.
Amazing audience. Well, we are live with Tyson Franklin. Hey, do check him out. He's the podcast host of It's No Secret with Dr. T. Pretty amazing stuff. Hey, what website would you send them to if they wanted to check you out, Tyson?
You go to my own website, which is tysonfranklin.com. tysonfranklin.com. So that's my website. That's where I put my podcast on there, my blogs, different ideas, events I run, my book. It's basically all on that website.
Hey, you didn't say the name of your book. What's the name of your book?
Oh, okay. My first book I wrote was called It's No Secret There's Money in Podiatry, because I've been a practicing podiatrist for almost 30 years. And my second book that has just been published is It's No Secret There's Money in Small Business. So the first book, because it was very podiatry related, a lot of other business people read it and said, wow, if you modified this could be a fantastic business book. So I went back, took everything from podiatry out, pumped in new stories that I'd learned over 3 years, from podcasting to I did a walking challenge last year where I had to walk an hour a day every day for 365 days.
Wow.
Listen to a podcast, and then I'd shoot a short video explaining some takeaway points. So if people want to check that out, it's called the 365-hour mental and physical challenge. So things I learned from that, all this information got piled into the next book. And I jokingly say it's the second best business book ever written. I just haven't found the first one yet.
Love it. Hey, well, Tyson, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water.
I'm loving
Tyson, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Earliest childhood memory is we used to have a caravan in a caravan park. Now, caravans like you have caravans in the Caribbean, and I think people have caravans all around the world. It's like a trailer.
Yeah.
And we used to have one set up permanent in this caravan park, which is like a holiday park. And I was probably about 3 or 4. And that's my earliest memory, is probably around then. And we were there. We used to go every weekend, every holiday for the first 16 years of my life.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think it's still clear because my parents never took a lot of photographs, but they did take half a dozen around that particular time when I was about 3 or 4. So I can remember them. I remember them taking the photo, and then now I see that photo, and it really cemented that memory of being in a particular chair, sitting out the front near the beach, looking out at the ocean. And I think that's why I've always had this thing about being near water or having to be near the coast. I don't think I could live in the desert.
Love it. Hey, well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yeah.
I love the idea, Tyson, of the way, even in this quick conversation, it seems as though you've structured your life where you're you're strategically going after things in a stretch, but you're always coming back to relaxation, to relationship with yourself, and how that has impacted others. So it's like there's a heartbeat, if you would, on how much of what you do, a rhythm of the way you live your life. But in living in that rhythm, it's affecting so many other lives. So, you did the walk, you wrote the book, right? You did podiatry, you wrote the book. And now the rhythm has created, from the relationship, the book for the business aspect. So it's really fascinating to me how those both things connect.
Yeah, well, I've had a few people comment on when I did the walking challenge, and they said the thing they liked about it the most, they said it's probably one of the strangest things they've ever seen anybody do. But they said at the same time, they said you gave so much to people. And you did it when it was really hot. You did it when it was raining. I came across snakes. I got bitten by dogs, got attacked by birds. So there's just all these things going on. But they said, but you could really tell you were sharing a message that you really just wanted to communicate with people.
Yeah, that's great.
So I think nothing is better than giving. Yeah, giving something to other people and seeing the joy that they get from what you're doing, whether it's a blog you write, a book you write, a video you shoot, a conversation, giving something to other people and not expecting anything back. For some reason, you tend to get it back 10 times more.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, well, Tyson, if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, when I was 12, when was that? That would have been 1970 something. I think there was a song called October.
All right.
Around that time. It was a real disco sort of song. I think that was about 1978, I was told, because I think I was 14 when it was 1980. So, it was definitely some disco song that I'd probably listen to now and probably still shake my hips a little.
And there we go. And is October like one of your favorite times?
No, it was just a song called October. Or October was a word that was mentioned in the song. I can't actually recall the song itself. Yeah,
it's cool. All right, my friend, we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's going to be yes or no. Tyson, are you ready?
Oh, I am ready.
Tyson, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No, not particularly, no.
Are you married?
Yet. Yes.
Do you have children?
I do. I've got 3.
Do you believe in God?
I'm undecided.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No, but I'd love to.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yeah, I definitely watch it 3 hours a week, but I enjoy TV.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I would say it's probably around 8 hours a day, because most of the things I do now, I'm writing, recording. So it's probably 8. It's probably about 6 hours too much.
All right. Hey, after having 1,001 conversations in 2016 in 3 months, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. The idea is, as you answer those questions, you uncover your own unique real statement. Your mission, if you would. If you had to share with us, Tyson, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Tyson Franklin, what would you say that is?
I would say real learning in life starts once you finish high school and university. That's where the real education comes from.
Love it. Hey, Tyson Franklin, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I just think everybody should look at every day as an opportunity to learn something new. Yeah, it's a chance to, whether it's through a blog, a YouTube video, it doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, a book. Every day is an opportunity to learn one new thing. And if you can do that every day, at the end of 365 days, you will be a completely different person.
Hey, Tyson Franklin, again, great pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com And for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.